So what is a Malifaux starter box? Now, if you've been looking at Malifaux, you might be a little bit confused by what is a core box and what is a starter box. So let's talk about starter boxes. Starter boxes are basically a cheap and pretty efficient way to get into Malifaux. There is a starter box per faction, so each faction gets their own starter box. And with the contents in your starter box, you will be able to start playing Malifaux almost straight away. So with these starter boxes, they won't contain enough for you to play a full game of Malifaux, but they'll contain enough models for you to play a game of Henchman Hardcore, which is essentially a cut down version of Malifaux. Instead of a master, you use a henchman as the leader of your crew, and you only have 4 models, and I think it's 30 or 35 stones max. All right, so let's have a look at the contents of a starter box. So the first thing you see is you get a cardboard measuring widget that measures 1, 2, 3, and 6 inches, as well as 50mm diameter circles. You might want to get a measuring tape to help you measure longer distances. You also get 10 30mm scheme markers in the box, but they could also be repurposed as corpse or scrap markers. Now we also get some cards in the box. We get the generic upgrade cards for the faction. So I have the Bayou starter box here, so I get the Bayou upgrade cards. You also get a rules reference card in the box, which explains some of the common rules and conditions in the game. And you also get the stat cards for the models in the starter box as well. We get 4 bases that are the correct size for the 4 models in the box as well. Also in the starter box, we get a fate deck, which is a 54 card deck to play the games because we use a deck of cards and not dice in Malifaux. Now, a word of warning, the cards were really sticky in the deck, so it was really difficult for me to open the deck, and I actually ripped it a bit. But hopefully you won't have to rip yours now that you know that they're so sticky. These cards are a bit more substantial than standard poker playing cards, but essentially they're the same. They do 1 to 13 in the 4 suits, but in Malifaux their suit names are different from what they are in poker. You also get the red and black Joker as well. Now the face cards, which is 11, 12, 13 in each suit, have an actual character printed on them rather than just the number, which is kind of cool. And also in the corner you can see that the cards are marked for 1, 2, or 3 pips, whether they are weak, moderate, or severe, which is also handy. So the final thing in the box is of course the models. Now these models come pre-assembled, which is pretty handy because then all you have to do is stick them on the bases and they're ready to go essentially. Now the models do seem pretty well assembled, but they do have mold lines on them. So I'm going to scrape those mold lines off before I paint them. The plastic material seems to be slightly different from the plastic material in normal Malifaux kits, but it seems pretty nice and pretty high quality. So in the Bayou starter box specifically, you get Bo Peep, Ruffles, the Fluffinator, and Stumpy, which are 4 models that I think are just super cool.
The other thing I forgot to mention is since the models are made out of PVC, you will need super glue to glue them to their bases. Plastic glue won't work on them. All the models are also versatile, which means they'll work with any crew in the faction without any additional cost. And if you buy a starter box and a core box of a master, you'll probably have 50 soul stones just with those 2 boxes.
All right, so that's everything in the box. If you enjoyed the video and found it useful for getting into Malifaux, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Malifaux hobby content. Cheers, thanks for watching.